Hey everybody, Danielle here. Today is the first day of a new vlog. It is Thursday, February 23rd. We are currently buried under a foot of snow right now, which was totally not amusing because we were expecting snow, but the models were telling us little to no accumulation. And then we got a foot of snow. So, yay. I am back from Vegas. I just put my last vlog up like way after I got home. I was gone. I flew out Thursday the 16th. I came home Monday the 20th. So, been home for a couple days. I wanted to show you what I got in Vegas. I went to Stitcher's Paradise, and I feel like I'm better at just not like indiscriminately buying, you know? So I did struggle a little bit to kind of like find a pattern that really like jumped out at me, but also that like I felt like I couldn't, not that you can't go and get this anywhere or whatever, but a lot of the stuff that jumped out at me was like stuff that I have known about already, and like, oh, I love that, I could buy that here, or oh yeah, you know, like I saw all the little like tiny towns from, is it Heart and Hand or Heart and Hand, I think. And I saw like a Liz Matthews chart that I really like, but I just kind of wanted to find something that like maybe I hadn't seen anywhere else. And so I came across this. It's a Jan Hicks Creates Ode to a Peacock. I really love peacocks, and I thought this was a really pretty design. So yeah, I went ahead and I picked this up. And then the other thing I do when I go to a shop is I typically just like find a skein of silk that just pops out to me. And I was really wanting something like hot, you know, tropical, like hot vibes. And so I thought this was really pretty. So then this was all I had originally in hand. And I went to the register and I was like, hey, do y'all have any exclusive charts? Because, you know, like you're in a shop for the first time, maybe the only time, you want an exclusive chart. And I'd seen a needlepoint canvas that said, welcome to Las Vegas, but y'all, needlepoint canvases are expensive. And I don't know that I'll ever do one. I have one, but I don't know that I'll ever do it. So I wanted a cross stitch chart, and she was like, yeah, actually we do have two exclusive charts. So this is by Lil Pest Scratchins. Welcome Las Vegas. So you can see it's the sign, the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada sign. Dobby Bullock. So let's see. There's some info about the sign. There's the information for the designer. And then the other one is this. So this is really cool. When you turn this on its side, so it's a Christmas tree design, but you turn it on its side and it says Las Vegas. And I thought that was really smart and cute. M Designs exclusive. Yeah, so I was like, all right. So I was like, I'll take those. And then, you know, those like super expensive needle minders that are like, I guess they're called like monster needle minders. I always like admire them, but I've never like gotten up the guts to pay for one. But I saw this Lucky Cat and I was like, that's kind of cute and kind of like, you know, Lucky, like Vegas, like, and I really like Lucky Cat stuff. So I decided to get that. And then my friend is a big fan of Alice in Wonderland, and this was sitting there next to it too. So I thought I would get her, because she got me like a little kit from her LNS. And so I thought, okay, I'll get my friend a needle minder from Vegas. And so then I was like, okay, I'm done. I bought my stuff and I left. And I was in a little complex with a 7-Eleven, and I was like, I need some water and I kind of need to use the bathroom. I figured 7-Eleven would have one. Long story short, I went over there, stood in line, you know, got my water, and they were like, nope, no public bathrooms. So the shops that were there, I was sort of like, I don't think any of these are going to have a bathroom. There was like a sub shop, but I wasn't going to buy food. So I was like, I bet if I just go back to the shop, they will let me use their shop bathroom. So I did, and I was like, oh, could I use your restroom? And she's like, oh yeah, it's just around the corner. So I go in, I go to the bathroom, and I come out, and bam, I see this model. And I'm like, I have to have it. I was like, if it's here, I have to have it. So I'll put a picture in here of the model. And I went up to I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the area for the designer. So I went up to ask, and I was like, hey, do you have this in the shop? And she looked it up, and she went and found it for me. And I liked it so much that not only did I buy it, but I bought the floss to kit it up. So this is Little House Needleworks Singing the Blues. And it's just so pretty. It reminds me of the Luminous Fiber Arts Gathering Birds, you know, Gathering whatever bird series. And it's just so sweet. It says a bluebird and then the rest of the alphabet. And I bought the floss, which is kitted in Bellswall. And I might have gone overkill to buy 2 skeins of this Ocean Tide now that I've like looked at the chart, but I really didn't want to run out. The red is just the heart and the berries, and the white is just the border. But yeah, so this was my haul from Stitcher's Paradise. And then, less interestingly, but I'll show you anyways because we're here. My friend and I went out to Red Rock Canyon, and we went into the visitor center, and I decided to buy this DVD because so when I have people over and entertain, my grandma did this thing where she had like these VHSs of nature videos, like Nat Geo type specials, and she would put those on because she liked to have something going, but not like a TV show or an actual movie, just like something pretty to look at. And so I have some that are for Christmas, like winter scenes, Christmas lights, but I don't have anything that's just, that like, say I was entertaining in, you know, July. I don't have anything for that. So I bought this, and I'm gonna maybe put it on tonight and just, when I start stitching, and give it a go. So I bought that. And then I bought this stained glass feather. So let me like hold it. There was some cool stuff in the whatchamacallit, gift shop, but it was all kind of like made in China. And I was like, I'd really like some local art, like local made art. And so this is a stained glass feather. I really liked the texture in the clear glass. And I went back and forth with myself. I was like, I really love it, but I have nowhere to put it. And then finally, after a little bit, I was just like, I'm gonna figure it out. And so I bought that. And then the only other thing I bought was, I decided to buy myself this kind of cute little Welcome to Las Vegas sign. I have a couple shelves. You've seen them all in previous videos if you've been around for a while. I have some display shelves, so I'm gonna find a spot for this cute little, and it even has the back, drive carefully, come back soon. I found this in the airport. The airport, you can get good souvenirs out of the airport. But yeah, so then I didn't stitch the first night I was home, I don't think. And I was feeling extremely overwhelmed. I'm like, I was like, I have a week left in February. This was what, like, last time I'm telling myself, I'm like, I have like a week left. I have so much I want to do. I still have my Quirky Quaker polls for February. I want to finish my round robin. Even though I still have a month to do that, I feel like we're all kind of on top of it, and so I'd like to ship sooner rather than later, and we can start shipping at the beginning of March. So I want to finish that, and I also need to do some Stitch for Pride stitching. So I was like, I have a lot to do in less than a week, and so I decided what I wanted to do was get at least one Quirky Quaker out of the way. And so I started Quirky Quaker Jack-o'-lantern last night. I got this far, a couple hundred stitches in. It is about 800 stitches, and my other one is 500, so 1,300 combined. So yeah, this is what I'm going to start stitching on tonight. And yeah, that's all of my haul from Stitcher's Paradise, my stitching as it sits right now. And yeah, so I will let y'all go for this clip, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone, it is Monday, February 27th, and I am giving you, well, I'd say a little update, but I've actually done a lot in the last couple days. So I finished the little pumpkin. This is the Quirky Quaker jack-o'-lantern, and I stitched it on 14 count Picture This Plus pansy, and I used the suggested DMC alternatives, which was 741 and 310. So yeah, isn't it cute? It's so cute. I love it. It's adorable. So then I was like, okay, we gotta get our next Quirky Quaker done. You know, hopefully still within the month of February. So I started and finished excuse me. Started and finished the Quirky Quaker fishbone, and this is so cute. I did this on 14 count Picture This Plus dusk, and I used the Stitch Me silk called Almond, because like for me, when I see like a bone, to me it shouldn't be like pure white. I want it off-white, because bones are not white. So that's why I did that, and I like started that on, I think maybe Friday night, and I just finished it this morning. So it took me like 3 sessions. I think the jack-o'-lantern took me 5 sessions, and this one took me 3. I've been stitching like much slower than I would prefer. So those are my Quirky Quaker Whip Go goals, was to do those 2. The Whip Go polls for March have me doing the Quirky Quaker Snail and the Quirky Quaker Loch Ness Monster. So I am excited to do both of those. I'm excited to do the Loch Ness Monster one because I actually bought a silk specifically for that one. So I'm gonna do it on, I'll probably do that one first, and I'm gonna do it on some kind of like pale blue fabric. And then I have kind of like a tealy, like a very, very dark teal green color that I'm gonna do it in. So I'm excited for that. So, but now that I'm done with this, I was like, okay, Stitch for Pride. It's the 27th. We have today and we have tomorrow in February, and that's it. So for this month, Stitch for Pride, we learned about Gladys Bentley and the sort of LGBTQ presence in the Harlem Renaissance, and how those how the LGBTQ community fit in that time frame. And so the prompt was to stitch on something by a Black designer, or that like promotes, how to rephrase it, something about like promoting Black voices or Black people, or stitch on something by a Black designer. So I don't have any whips that fit that category, so unfortunately. So what I decided to do, I did consider, but the month got away from me. But here was what my initial thoughts were. I kind of wanted to stitch just a very basic, like, Black history is American history. Like, I would have probably just charted it out myself. I considered buying, again, kind of like a basic Black Lives Matter pattern, but my problem with that was that I wanted to following people like Dee has really kind of hammered in the importance of, like, I don't want to buy a Black Lives Matter pattern from a white designer, because Black people should be the people who are profiting or benefiting from that kind of thing. Does that make sense? Like, and it's just too hard. Like, I cannot tell on Etsy. I can tell typically if their morals align with my morals based on the kinds of stuff they're designing, but I can't tell if they're Black or white or Asian or, whatever. Like, so I decided not to buy like a Black Lives Matter pattern. I did really kind of want to chart out and stitch Black history is American history, but again, the month got away from me. So I did purchase 2 patterns from Shaded Stitchery, and one of them was the This Juneteenth Day sampler, and the other one was, I think it's just called Admiration, but it's some really interesting, like, flowers. And I was reading in the pattern the, like, inspiration behind it, and there was a lot of, like, Nuri said that it was sort of inspired by a scene or a line from the movie / book The Color Purple. So I bought those 2 patterns to help support a Black designer. But I am not in a place right now where I feel like starting anything. So I decided for my actual stitching for Stitch for Pride, I would pull out my Trans Pride tapestry. I would really like to work on this every month anyways, because it's massive. It's, 20,000, correction, 21,500 something stitches. But I decided that since I didn't, have a, let me pull that. There we go. Since I didn't already have a whip that applied, this would be a good, opportunity to pull out my tapestry. So what I did tonight, I was like here, and so I put in, this is difficult. So I put in this green, I came down, where did I start? Because I feel like, I don't know. So I put in this, came around here, I came up here, like I had to start about here, come down, come out. So all this green is new. And then I've put in 2 lines of the blue. So now what I'm gonna do tomorrow night is this area here is all blue. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna finish this part, and then I might do this part. This is pink right here, and this is blue. So it's like I have plenty of good like fill-in area for myself now. So yeah, that is how she is looking. I have this floral motif done, this floral motif done, this one done. I had clearly started this one when I went to set it down, because this is my little bridge that I left myself. Like, do y'all do this? So like, I don't like carrying my floss very far. So I'm like, I'll leave myself a bridge. So I was clearly, working on this stem here. And then I want to come up and do the little flower, but then that would mean like jumping back to the stem, but not if I leave myself a bridge of half stitches. So then the goal will be to come around, and again, like I'll do these in half stitches, like half, 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 half. And then so work my way around and then fill those those stitches, and then I'm back to the stem. So that was my little bridge. I leave myself bridges of half stitches all the time, but this is why I don't particularly care for vine stitching, because it's a lot of like, how do I get all the way out there and back without carrying my floss all the way across, and without, I don't want to end it and start new. So, but yeah, this is how she's looking. I'm currently sitting at 10.3%. So yeah, I'm going to work on this at least one more day to finish out February. But I mean, who knows? I feel like if I could get that pink and blue filled in, I would probably feel really good about that, because I don't know how many stitches it is, but it's a lot. But I think that might have me working on it for longer than I should, because my next thing that I'm going to be turning my attention to is definitely my ink circles round robin. I still have about 1,200 stitches to do on that, and so I want to get that done. My team members, one of them is done. One of them had like their outline done and they just needed to fill in, which it was still a lot of stitches, but fill in it's like blocky, and fill in, like it's easy, it goes faster. And then one just started, but like she was like, this is gonna stitch up so fast. So I'm pretty sure she's still gonna, I'm gonna be the last one stitching. That's what I'm feeling. So after I work on this, then I'm gonna be turning my attention to that. Okay, so I'm going to let y'all go for this clip, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone, it's Danielle. So it is Tuesday, March 7th. It's been a little bit since I recorded, like a little over a week, and just checking in to show you everything I've accomplished. So working backwards, I guess, because this is what I just took off the key snap. This is my quarter of the Ink Circles Round Robin that I am participating in. It's hosted by Michelle Bendy Stitchy. I am in a group of 4 stitchers, and we're all going to stitch a quarter of an Ink Circles chart. This is called Bloomers, and I'm doing it on 14 count Da Vinci by Picture This Plus. The group that I'm in, there's a stitcher who can only stitch on 14 count, so all of our projects are on 14 count, so makes it like nice and easy to count and nice and easy to see. Yeah, so like I started this in February, and then I took a break from it, and then it took me forever to get back to it. I'm hoping that I mean, technically we still have about 3 weeks to ship it, but I would like for the next one to be done. Like, I don't like having deadlines on myself. I thought I would show you. So I had actually started this completely with the called for, and I didn't like these. These are just too brown. I saw the model stitch at Acorns and Threads, and they don't cast as brown on the model fabric. And this one I could probably even be okay with, but this one I was just like, that just looks like dead leaves to me. So I switched these 2 colors for these 2 colors, and I'm much happier with it now. And my brain, so like in order to do a quarter, I should have stopped on like this line, but my brain, I was like, nope, that makes me too itchy to like stop in the middle of the flower. So my group decided, talked it through with my group, and I was like, I'll just stitch the whole flower and this whole motif here, and then the next stitcher will stitch this whole motif and this whole motif, you know, because it's like I was supposed to do half here and half here. I just did my other half here. So, and then this part here, so everything else is called for. This color, this color, this color, this color, but this color, so this is the only spot, as you can see, in the whole quarter where this color occurs, and it's charted that way, that this is the only spot that this color shows up. And it's supposed to be another pinky purple color. I can't remember exactly because I've put it away already. I decided that we're all gonna stitch this little flower here in a different color. So this is the flower that, or the color that I picked, and it is a Bestitch Me silk called Cheerful. It was one that I got either in my floss of the month, or that I had ordered when I did a big order, like maybe 6-8 weeks ago, and I just couldn't get it out of my head. Like, it just looked like orange sickle to me, so I decided to do it in that. So yeah, this is ready now. Well, the fabric, or the project itself, is ready. I need to get the chart ready to pass on. So then, working backwards, this is where I've gotten to with my Trans Pride tapestry. This is the Trans Pride tapestry by Dee's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari. This is a 28 count Jobelin by, I got rid of the tag. I bought it in a D-stash from somebody. It's like fantasy hand dyed, and it didn't have a name, but it's like got the perfect, you know, pinks and blues for the trans colors. So I think the last time we talked, I didn't have any of this blue filled in. So I filled in all this blue, did this pink, and then I've outlined this area for easy fill in. So I put in about 1,000 stitches, which is really good, but you know, when it's a 21,000 stitch chart, I would really love to put in some more, but I'm not sure. We're already a week into March, and I feel like based on like what I want to get done, I've gotten nothing done. So, but I don't know, I'd like to fill this in, maybe take this plant up. So I've been keeping her sitting next to me. I haven't yet decided to, you know, put her back in the bag and put her back on the shelf. But that's this second thing that I worked on. And then I'll show you this, and it also will lend to talking a little bit about plans. This floss situation is a hot mess. Okay, so this is a piece that I started. I had been working on Trans Pride, and then I just needed to do this new start. The piece is called Healing is Not Linear. And so it has this pretty floral. So like you can see this part here, this repeats over here. So this is what the floral border looks like on the top and the bottom. And then in the middle, it says Healing is Not Linear. And I just picked, I stuck with the colors of the flowers, but I just picked my own. Ooh, that was my elbow if you heard that. I just picked my own like colors that I liked. So I'm using Snow Cone. These are all Color and Cotton. Carmine. These are all very bright too, like the original colors were more pastel. Lemon Tart. Magenta. Shamrock. And then the text is going to be Purple Parrot. I had a couple of days where I just had like some grief sneak up on me, wash over me. And the first thing that came to my mind is that saying healing is not linear. Because it's really not. So I posted about it on my Instagram, but if you don't follow me there, basically I had my husband and I not miscarried our pregnancy in 2017. We by now would, like around this time of the year, like the last couple weeks of February to the first couple weeks of March, would have been when our baby would have been born. So we would have had a 5-year-old by now. And for the most part, I'm usually pretty okay with how things turned out. Not okay, but you know, like I've accepted things. But you know, sometimes healing is not linear, and sometimes that grief just like sneaks up on you. And yeah, so I just had a couple days where I was sad, and so I wanted to start this. I'm gonna possibly work on it a little bit more. I'm keeping it next to me because this floral thing is a bitch, y'all. Like, this was one night and it's only like 200 stitches. So I'm just keeping it next to me. I don't want to keep this as a whip, you know, for very long. I want to finish it, you know, relatively quickly. So I don't want to put it away. I'm just going to keep her sitting next to me and I'll, you know, in between projects, put in a strand or two. I think once I get this border done, the text is a couple hundred stitches. Like the whole thing is less than 1,000. So it won't take that long. But the text will fly, but then I'll have to do that border again. So, and then I have a mess of floss that's just chilling because you can't really carry this floss anywhere. As you can see, like single yellow stitch, like nine or 10 pink stitches, like 5 pink stitches, 3, 1 red, like, yeah. So it's not easy to carry. So I have like a bunch of little scraps, and it's constant color changes to do this border. So yeah, that's everything I've worked on. And this project qualifies for hashtag Stitch Asia. There is a Flosstuber and Instagrammer who a couple years ago started the Stitch Asia hashtag, where we stitch on projects from Asian designers or things that are like Asian inspired, appropriate Asian inspired themes, or use fabric or flosses that are dyed by Asian dyers. And this fabric is actually from Fiberlicious, Ashes to Ashes, and 32 count Jobelan. I got it in my Fabric of the Month club, and I'm also going to use this fabric for my Stitch for Pride later in the month. I don't know what I want to work on between. I know that I want to like see good progress on something. Something, please. Like, oh, plus my quirky Quakers. Oh, Lord, y'all, the month is going too fast. So for Stitch Asia, the prompt is to, Stitchy prompt is to stitch on a design by a Asian designer. And I have a Lucky Cat pattern that was done by Little Stitch by Coconut, or Little Stitch by Coconut. Yeah, so I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna put on this fabric, and the only unfortunate thing about that is that I'm taking a pattern that's designed to be stitched on white at 1,100 stitches and turning it into a project where I'm stitching it on a dark color, and I'm gonna have to stitch the white to like a 2,200 or 2,300 stitch project. Good job, Danielle. Good job. Way to make all the work for yourself. So, yep, that's what I've been working on. And those are my most immediate plans. Like I said, I want to put a little bit more on this. Maybe finish off the floral border. I'm maybe going to finish filling in that pink and maybe the plants. But honestly, I don't know which whip I want to work on, but like, I just want to see some progress on something that's been sitting in my whip list for longer than a few months, you know? Because I feel like I have all these whips and I'm not touching them and I'm not doing anything with them. And it's just like killing me a little bit inside. So, but I think that's going to be it for this vlog. It's been about 2 or 2.5 weeks since I started this vlog, and I think after this clip we'll be at the nice like 45-minute mark, so I think it's a good time to throw it up on the YouTube. And yeah, so that's it for now, and thank y'all so much for watching, liking, subscribing, being here, coming back, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.